So, students, today we will start the topic. The name of the topic is the like a magnetic measurement. Today we will discuss the topic that is the magnetic measurement. So, what is the magnetic measurement basically? Like a first point is that first of all, I will explain you the what is the magnetic measurement to all of you. Like magnetic measurement means the operating characteristics of the electrical machines. Like we are having a different apparatus and instruments that are generally influenced by the properties of the ferromagnetic materials used for their constructions. Means whatever the we are using the electrical machines or the apparatus or the instruments we are using, okay, that are generally depend upon the properties of the ferromagnetic materials. Okay, means we are moving the spindle with the help of the eddy currents. Okay, so the properties of the ferromagnetic materials play an important role in the constructions of the electrical machines or the instruments or the other apparatus. Okay, so magnetic measurements and throughout knowledge of the characteristics of the magnetic material is very important for the designing and manufacturing of the electrical equipment. Okay, student. So means if we are designing the any machine, electrical machine, okay, we are designing any apparatus or we are designing any instrument, electrical instruments. One must have the knowledge of the like ferromagnetic materials, magnetic measurements. Okay, so you must know where about the what is the flux density, what is the magnetizing force. Okay, so what is the BH curve? Okay, and how we will student must having the knowledge of the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so all your electrical instruments, all your electrical apparatus or the electrical machines, the working of these machines, the working of these apparatus is totally depend upon the magnetic magnetic measurements and the Faraday's law of electromagnetic inductions. They are depend upon the properties of the magnetic materials. Okay, so magnetic measurements and a throughout knowledge of characteristics of the magnetic material is very important regarding the designing and the manufacturing of the electrical equipments. Okay, so these are the some of the measurements which are required or the which are necessary for the electrical apparatus or electrical machines or electrical we can say that electrical instruments we are using. So when we are talking about the electrical measurements, so we these things are very important. Okay, so what are the these things which are very which I am saying that which is very important when we are designing the different things like so my first concept is the today's topic is the magnetic measurement. So when we are talking about the magnetic measurement, the first concept that is the we are having that is the like when we are designing the electric machines, okay, when we are designing the electrical or the instruments, okay, instruments. So when we are designing we are using the magnetic properties. Okay, we are using the magnetic properties. So magnetic properties play an important role in the manufacturing of this electrical machines, apparatus, and the instruments. Okay, so we have to measure this. Today's topic is regarding the how to measure these magnetic properties. Okay, and what are these magnetic properties? Okay, so basically our electrical machines, electrical apparatus, or the electrical instruments. Okay, so the working of these apparatus and the instruments or the machines is totally depend upon the Faraday's law of electromagnetic inductions. Okay, that is the eddy current. It is depend upon the eddy current. It is like we are moving the spindle of the instruments with the help of the eddy current. So these are the very important concepts according to the electrical machines, apparatus, and the instruments. So coming toward the points, what are these measurements? What are the magnetic measurements? Okay, so first point came in this one, magnetic measurements. We will calculate the magnetic like flux density. You can use the word the flux density. Okay, so similarly, like we are having a electrical field and the magnetic fields. These two fields are very important according to my opinion, that when we are talking about the electrical students and when we are talking about the electronics and communication engineering students, they must having the knowledge of the they must aware about the concepts of the electric field. They must aware about the concept of the magnetic field. Okay, because these two fields revolve around the operators of the electrical machines, instruments, etc. So electric field concepts and the magnetic field concepts are very important. So in this like in this today's topic, we are talking about the magnetic fields. Okay, so first point is the that is the magnetic measurement. We will talking about the flux density, that is denoted by the B. Okay, then second point we are talking about the magnetizing. Okay, that is the magnetizing force, that is the H. Okay, second point is the we are talking about the magnetizing force. Okay, that is the H. Then we will calculate like a BH curve. Okay, then we are calculating like a when we are talking about the magnetics measurements, we are generally doing the one thing you have learned in the BEEE, you have learned in the plus two also. Okay, when we are magnetizing some element and then back we are doing the demagnetizing of the same element. Okay, then the losses occur in the like a magnetic material. That losses are the eddy current losses, or the we can say that the it is the hysteresis losses. Okay, you must aware about the hysteresis losses, that there is the one curve like this one curve we have formed, that is the hysteresis losses, that is the P, and here we are having like a H, this one. So hysteresis curve is formed basically when we are magnetizing the material and back converting into the demagnetizing. Okay, so these terms like calculate the value of B, flux density, calculating the value of magnetizing force. Like a magnetizing force is similar to that of the electromagnetic force. Okay, so these things are related toward the magnetic measurements. Okay, what is the flux density, how we will calculate the flux density, measurement of the magnetizing force H, determination of the BH curve and the eddy current. Then we are talking about the like uh, we are talking about the determination of the eddy current and the hysteresis losses and testing of the permanent magnet. Okay, so these measurements are revolved around the magnetic measurement, and like our uh, these measurements are related toward the electrical machines. Okay, so moving toward the what is the flux density, you can say that the number of lines of force basically. number of magnetic lines of passing through the unit area of the material. Okay, that is called as the flux density. Maximum students are aware about the flux density. What is the flux density? We can define as the flux density as the number of lines of force passing through the per unit area of the material. Okay, or you can say that the number of magnetic lines of force passing. We can say that the from the north pole to the south pole, the number of lines passing from per unit area, that is the flux density. Okay, so we can denoted the flux by the phi is equal to b a cos theta. It is also we can define this flux density by this one. Okay, so these are the basic things. Okay, okay, what is the flux density, what is the magnetizing force we are having. Okay, so these things these are the basics about the magnetic measurement. And next we are having a magnetizing we can using the word magnetizing force. Okay, magnetizing force is basically denoted by the h, capital H. Okay, so if I am explaining you the magnetizing force, okay, the force exerted by the magnet, which is determined by the sum of all the lines of magnetic flux present in the magnetic field. Okay, that is called the magnetizing force. Okay, so again I am explaining you, means the force that is exerted by the magnet. We are using the magnets, either we are using the two magnets. If we are using the two magnets like a north pole and the south poles, okay, we are talking about the different poles. Okay, so the force exerted by the magnets, okay, means the force that is used by the magnet, which is determined by the sum of all the lines of the magnetic flux. Okay, means it is related with the magnetic flux. Okay, which means the force which is exerted by the magnet, and which is determined by the sum of all the lines of the magnetic flux. Okay, so sum of all the lines of the magnetic flux present in the magnetic field, that is the magnetizing force. Okay, then we will plot the determination of the BH curve, the graph between the B magnetic flux density and the magnetizing force we can plot, and we can find out the BH curve that is come under the magnetic measurement. Then to find out the eddy current and the hysteresis losses and testing of the permanent magnets. These are the magnetic measurements. Okay, so we will perform the different type of test to find out the these measurements. Okay, so what are these tests? So first one, we are having a ballistic test. Okay, so ballistic test is basically used to find out the BH curve and the hysteresis losses. Okay, so when we are performing the ballistic test, okay, so we are using the direct current is used to provide an adjustable MMF to the magnetic circuits. Means we can say that in a ballistic test. Okay, first point is this one. Ballistic test is used to find out the value of the two things. First one, BH curve, and second one is the hysteresis losses. Okay, second thing is the second main point in the ballistic test is that it is used to provide an adjustable magnetic motive force, okay, to the magnetic circuit. So second point in this one, we are using the direct current, and this direct current is used to provide an adjustable magnetic motive force to the magnetic circuit. And a ballistic galvanometer or the flux meter is used to measurement of the flux density. Means when we are performing the next, we will discuss this ballistic test. and I will explain you with the diagram also. But here I am giving you the some basic concepts. Okay, so means when we are using this ballistic test, first of all we are using the DC supply, and this DC supply is used to provided an adjustable magnetic motive force and to the magnetic circuit. Okay, and then we are in the ballistic test we are using the like a ballistic galvanometer or the flux meter. Basically, these two ballistic galvanometer or the flux meter, these are used to measure the flux density. Okay, these two meters are used to measure the flux density, and the ballistic test, like uh, one thing more about this ballistic test, we can do not measure the do not directly measure the value of flux density in the magnetic material. Okay, means we cannot measure the flux density that is statics. Okay, so means we are measuring the flux that is in the change in the flux we will measure with the help of the ballistic test. Means changing flux is measured by the ballistic test. We can't measure the static flux, like which is constant. Okay, we cannot measure that flux with the ballistic test. Okay, means we are measuring the value of the change in the change in the flux. Okay, with the help of this ballistic test. So this is the very brief about this ballistic test. Again, I am briefing you. Where first point is about we are measuring the BH curve and the hysteresis losses. Or second point in this we are using the DC supply, because DC supply when we are using the direct current, they are used to provided the magnetic motive force, and that magnetic motive force we will measure the flux. Okay, uh, the flux is produced due to magnetic motive force, and that flux we are measuring with the ballistic galvanometer or with the flux meter. Okay, so third point which I have explained you about the ballistic test, that we are measuring change in flux. We cannot measure the static flux in this with the help of a ballistic test. Okay, then we are having a second type of test, that is the AC test. Okay, that is the alternating current we are using here, and test is carried out at power, audio and radio frequencies. Okay, means when we are talking about the DC, frequency is zero. Means if you are having a like a radio frequency signals. Okay, then we have to measure the like like we are using the power or the audio signals. Okay, then we are measuring the eddy current and the hysteresis losses of that signal. Okay, to measuring the eddy current and the hysteresis losses of that signal, we are using the AC test. Okay, so again, like for the AC test, we are using the ferromagnetic materials to determine the eddy current and the hysteresis losses. Okay, so this test is used to find out the eddy current and the hysteresis losses. Okay, so these are the two tests which we are using this AC test. We are finding either the eddy current and the hysteresis losses by using the AC test. Okay, and when we are performing the AC test, we are using the different type of signals. Okay, like we are using the power signal, we are using the audio signals, or we are using the radio frequency signals. Okay, and last we are having the steady state test, and it is used to determine the steady state flux density. Okay, and this test is used to find out the steady state flux density, and example the in the like uh, the flux density which is excited, which is exist in the air gap, okay, which is in the air gap of the magnetic material, that we will find out with the help of steady state test. Because when I have explained you the ballistic test, okay students, uh, that test, ballistic test, in the ballistic test I have explained you that ballistic test is used to find out the flux density that is changing, okay, means we cannot measure the steady state flux density, or that is static, okay, that is constant flux density, we can't measure with the ballistic test. This is the drawback of the ballistic test. So that to overcome that drawback, we can measure the steady state flux density with the steady state test, okay. And AC test is used to find out the eddy current and the hysteresis losses for the AC signal, like for the power signal or for the audio frequency signals. Okay, so moving toward the next, we are having like a measurement of flux density. Uh, this is the first test. Okay, so we are measuring the flux density using the ring specimen. Okay, so this is the first test we are performing, that is the measurement of the flux density. Okay, so to measurement of the flux density uh, inside the specimen can be like, first of all I will explain you this diagram, okay. So this is the measurement of flux density in the ring specimen. Topic came like this one in the examination. This is the 5 marks question. Question is like this one: measurement of the flux density, like how we can measure the flux density in the ring specimen, okay. Then you have to explain this, draw this diagram and explain the working of this diagram, okay. So first of all I will explain you this diagram, means how it is work. Then I will elaborate it in explain working, construction, all in detail, okay. So this is the very important question: measurement of flux density B. So, like we are measuring the flux density. Okay. What is the flux density? Number of lines passing through per unit area. Okay. So, measurement of the flux density inside a specimen can be done by winding a search coil over the specimen. Okay. So, we are taken this specimen, the ring shape, wait student, like this one is the ring, okay. This is our specimen, this circle one is called the ring specimen, okay. So measurement of flux density inside the specimen can be done, okay. This is the specimen, ring specimen, and we have to measure the flux density here, the red part inside the this one, okay. So we have to measure the flux density inside the specimen. This is done by winding a search coil, okay. We have to perform the winding, okay. So like we we will do the two types of winding here, okay. So first one is the winding a search coil over the specimen, that is called the search coil or the B coil. We are taking the two windings here. One is called the B coil winding. Okay, this is also called as the search coil. Okay, search coil is called the B coil. So search coil is connected to the ballistic galvanometer. Means this B coil, okay, and this wire of the B coil, like this one, which is the red one. Okay, this is connected to this ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so this B coil is connected to this plastic galvanometer, or the flux meter. We can use either the ballistic galvanometer or the uh, flux meter. Okay, so let us consider how to measure the flux density inside this. Okay, means till now I have explained you, we have taken the ring specimen, and we will do the winding of this specimen with the search coil. Search coil is also called as the B coil. Okay, and this B coil is connected to the flux meter or a ballistic galvanometer. Here I am using the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so ring this ring specimen. Okay, I have shown here below the B coil. I have shown the ring specimen. Okay, so this ring specimen wound with the magnetizing winding. Now I am talking about the second type of winding, that is the magnetizing winding. Okay. First one we have done the search coil or B coil. Okay. That is we will use the B coil, and the B coil is connected to the ballistic galvanometer. Okay. Second we are using the magnetizing winding. This one is the magnetizing winding. Okay, means my ring specimen, on my ring specimen we wound with the magnetizing winding. This magnetizing winding will carry a current I. Okay, means this magnetizing winding will carry a current I through it. Okay, so this is the magnetizing winding. This is connected to the DC supply. Okay, and this is my magnetizing one terminal of the magnetizing winding. This is the second terminal of the magnetizing winding, and these two terminals are connected to this DC supply. Through this current limiting resistor, we have connected the 1 ammeter also. Okay, and then the current is going through this magnetizing winding. Okay, means we, in the starting I have taken the ring specimen, then I have taken the B coil. Okay, the B coil is connected to my ballistic galvanometer. Okay, then on my ring specimen I have done the one more winding, that is the magnetizing winding. Okay, so I have taken this magnetizing winding. Okay, and this magnetizing winding will carry a current I from it. Okay, so the search coil of convenient number of turns is wound over the specimen. Okay, means we are having a search coil or a B coil. It is also having a number of turns. It is wound on the specimen and connected through a resistance and calibrating coil to a ballistic galvanometer. Okay, so this B coil is connected to this ballistic galvanometer through this calibrating coil. We are using the this calibrating coil to calibrate the in the starting we have taken the flux is equal to 0. Okay, so this type of calibration is done by this calibrating coil. Okay, so now current through a magnetic coil is reversed. First of all, I am explaining you. First of all, means the current I is flowing through this magnetizing coil. Okay, then like we are reverse the direction of the current. Okay, first of all, by moving this reversing switch, okay, we can change the direction of the current. First it is moving from the different direction, then we will reverse the direction of the current by using this reversing switch. Okay, so when I am changing the direction of the current that is flowing through this magnetizing winding. Okay, when I am changing the direction, student, this is the trick about this working of this diagram. Okay, so first of all, the current I is flowing through this magnetizing winding, and I am changing the, from the reversing switch I am changing the direction of the current. Okay, current through the magnetizing coil is reversed, therefore flux linkage of search coil changes and use an EMF into it. So when I am changing the direction of the current, okay, so the flux linkage of this search coil, this B coil is changing, and the EMF is induced in it. Okay, so EMF induced in it, and this EMF induced the EMF which is induced in the B coil. Okay, it send a current. Okay, this induced EMF send a current to the ballistic galvanometer, and this ballistic galvanometer will show over deflection. Means we are measuring the flux in terms of the current that is shown by this ballistic galvanometer. Okay, again, I am in short, if I am explaining you this like this working. Okay, we are using two coil, B coil and this magnetizing winding. What is happening? Magnetizing winding will carry a current I. Okay, so when magnetizing winding carry a current I, the flux linkage with the coil is the flux is linked with the coil B coil. Okay, when magnetizing winding carry a current I, the flux is linked with the B coil. Okay, so when I will change the direction of the current from this reversing switch, okay, means the current is in the magnetizing winding. Okay, so when I am changing the current value from this magnetizing winding, okay, then the flux linkage with this B coil is also getting changed. Okay, then the flux linkage with this B coil is also getting changed, and due to this change in the flux linkage, EMF induced in the search coil. Okay, and the current is start flowing due to this EMF induced. The current is start flowing, and this ballistic galvanometer is showing the reading. Okay, so this is the working of this like how we are measuring the flux density using this diagram. Okay, so students, any like so next like we are having after this measurement of the flux density, we are having the measurement of the magnetizing force. Okay, so this like measurement of this magnetizing force. So this measurement of the magnetizing force is done by this circuit diagram. Okay, so here we are using the same concept. Okay, but instead of the B coil here, we are using the H coil. Okay, so instead again I am repeating, the working principle is the same in this case when we are measuring the magnetizing force H. Okay, so magnetizing force I have explained to you, that is the force that is exerted by the magnets. Okay, so like this is the force which is exerted by the magnets. Okay, or by the magnetic flux, we can say that. Okay, that is the magnetizing force H. So magnetizing force H we can measuring with the help of the with the same principle which we are using in the measuring of the magnetic flux B. Okay, so here we are using the specimen. In the magnetic flux, we have taken the specimen that is the ring specimen, but here we are using the linear specimen here. Okay, so magnetizing force of a constant magnetic field, like here we are using the constant magnetic field, may be measured by a ballistic galvanometer and a search coil. Okay, so like a magnetizing force of the constant magnetic field, we can say that it is measured by the ballistic galvanometer. Okay, we are using the ballistic galvanometer here, or we can use the either the we can use the either the flux meter also. So the value of H inside a specimen can either be inferred, okay, from calculation involving data of magnetizing coil and the specimen, or from measurements made outside the specimens, okay. So we cannot measure it directly, okay. If magnetizing force is to be determined in the air gap, okay, means we have to, here we are having the air gap between the magnetic field and the H coil, okay. So in that case, the search coil is placed in the air gap itself, okay. Means this search coil, which is my H coil here, it is placed in the air gap. Means if we are measuring the like a magnetizing force in the air gap, we have to measure the like we have to place my H coil in the air gap, okay. The search coil is placed in the air gap itself. Likewise, here I have placed my H coil in the air gap. So the magnetizing force within the specimen, okay, the magnetizing force which is in the specimen, which is represented by the H, okay, may be determined by measuring the magnetizing force on its surface, okay. So the magnetizing force which is inside the specimen, okay, so it is equal to the magnetizing force that is available on its surface, okay, that is available on its surface. So while testing this, since the we are taking the when we are talking about the electric field and the magnetic fields, we have taken the uh, different components of the magnetic fields. Like we are taking the tangential components of the magnetic fields, okay. So in this we are taking the tangential component of the field are equal in magnitude for both side of the interference, okay. So I will explain you in simple language. If I'm explaining you the principle of what how it is work magnetizing force H, simple, I have given the DC supply, means the current is flowing through this magnetic winding, okay. We have taken the linear specimen, okay. This is my linear specimen, and upon the linear specimen I have done the magnetic winding, okay. This is my first concept. And when the current is flowing through this magnetizing winding, the flux linkage, okay, the flux linkage is flux link with this coil, and due to this flux linkage the magnetizing force will be exerted inside the specimen and on the surface of the specimen, okay. So this is the concept of the which we have used in the measurement of the magnetic flux, okay. So when I am using this reversing switch, okay, when I am change the direction of the current with the help of this reversing switch, okay. So the direction of current is changed, and the flux linkage or the magnetizing force produced by it is also changing, okay. Then my like a uh, this H coil, this H coil will produce the flux linkage with this magnetizing winding is linked with this H coil, okay. So in the H coil it feel the same magnetizing force that is felt by the specimen, okay. Means the magnetizing field inside the specimen and the magnetizing force on the surface of the specimen are same, and this magnetizing force is linked with the H coil, okay. And this H coil is linked with my ballistic galvanometer, okay. And this ballistic galvanometer or my like a, you can say that we may use the flux meter, they measure the value of the magnetizing force, means they are measuring the value of current in terms of the magnetizing force. So this is the basic concept. This is the basic concept of our how to measure the magnetizing force with the help of this ballistic galvanometer. So next topic is the determination of the BH curve, means how we are plotting the BH curve, the graph between the flux density and the magnetizing force we are plotting. There are the two methods of plotting this BH curve. First is the by method of reversal, and second one is the step by step method. Okay, so if I am talking about the like a first one method we are which we are using, that is the method of reversal. The method of reversal is same, it is on the same pattern. Okay, like when we are measuring the flux density, we are using the same circuit diagram, and this circuit diagram is used to find out the value of the BH curve. Means we are plotting this BH curve by using the same method, which method we are using to plot the value of the B. Okay, so here we are using the same concept. We are we are using the ring shaped specimen. Okay, so first point is this one, we are using the ring shaped specimen, and the dimension of this specimen is known to us. In the starting we know the dimension of this ring shaped specimen. Okay, so I so first of all we are taking this ring shaped specimen. Okay, and the dimensions of this ring shaped specimen are known to us. Okay, and first of all we are taking a layer of thin tape. Okay, we are using a thin tape. Okay, a layer of thin tape, it is put on the this ring specimen. Okay, and this ring and a search coil. Okay, means first of all I am taking this ring specimen, and then I have taken the thin tape. I wound this thin tape on this ring specimen and on the search coil also. Okay, so why we are using this thin tape, why we are why we are uh, put thin tape on the this ring and on the search wire, because it insulated by the parafixed wax that is wound on the tape. Okay, means the tape which we are using, it is the it will provided the insulation. Okay, that's why we are mounting this tape on the ring and on the search coil. Okay, uh, in the starting I have student, you will explain. First of all we are taking the search, we are taking the ring specimen, and the dimension of this ring specimen are known to us. Okay, then we are taking the like a tape, and this tape is wound on the ring specimen, and this tape is wound on the search coil. Okay, this winding will provided the means when we are using this tape wounded on the ring specimen, and when I am using this tape on the search coil, they are providing the insulation. Okay, we are using it for the insulation purpose. Okay, means then another layer of tape is put over the search coil. Okay, and means first of all the same tape is wound on the ring specimen, and the same tape is wound on the search coil. Then we are taking the another tape, and this tape is wound on the search coil, and the magnetizing winding is uniformly wounding over this tape. So Next is the key after demagnetizing the test is started by setting the magnetizing current to its lowest test value. Okay, means first of all we are providing this DC supply. The current is flowing through this magnetizing winding. Okay, so first of all, by using this current limiting resistor, we put the current to the minimum value, because we have to measure the different value of the B. Okay, so first of all we like a we put low value of current in the ring specimen in the magnetic winding. We note the value of the B through this ballistic galvanometer. Okay, the working is same as I have explained you in the previous topic. Okay, so first of all we put the very low value of current in the magnetizing winding, and this ballistic galvanometer show the reading. Then we will increase the value of the current. Then this ballistic galvanometer will show the another some different value of the B, increasing value of the B. Then we will again do the demagnetization, like we will do the uh, like magnetization and demagnetization, and we are getting the different values of the B, because the flux linkage is changing. Okay, so we are measuring this different values of the like a B, and then the above experiment, okay, is changed for the H value. Okay, the above procedure is repeated for various value of H up to the maximum testing points. Means the graph which we are getting, that is between the along the x-axis we are taking the H values, along the y-axis we are taking the B values. Okay, so I will explain you in this. Means after demagnetizing the test, okay, is started by setting the magnetizing current to its lowest test value. Means first of all we measuring this flux density, setting to the current value to the lowest value with galvanometer key closed. When we close this key, the iron specimen brought into the reproducibility cycle magnetic state. Okay, so it is producing the reproducibility cycle of magnetic state. Okay, so when we open this key and we are reversing the direction of the current. Okay, then this plastic galvanometer, okay, means when I am open this key and I am reversing the direction of the current from this like a reversing switch, then this ballistic galvanometer will give the value of the H. Okay, so the corresponding flux value is converting into the H value. Okay, so we can determine the value of the B, and we can determine the value of the H by using this experiment. Okay, so this is the method of reversal. Next we are having like a step by step method. Okay, so step by step method is similar to that of the like my reversal method. In a reversal method we are using like a here we are using the current limiting resistor. So instead of the current limiting resistor, we are using the potential divider here. Okay, means we are connecting the switch S2, this switch S2, to the different points. Okay, means switch 1, we connected this switch 1 to the switch to the 1 point, the second point, third point, up to the 10 point. So according, when we are connecting the switch to different points, we note the value of the B, and we note the value of the H according to that. So this is the easiest method. Means we are connecting, just connecting the switch to the first to the switch 1, and the current start flowing through this magnetizing winding. And according to this magnetizing winding, and my K is closed. Okay, key K is closed, and this ballistic galvanometer will show the reading of the flux. Okay, so when I am connecting to this switch 2, then this ballistic galvanometer will show the reading, second reading of B, then third, fourth, and this potential dividers will, when we are moving this potential divider, when we are moving this switch to the different positions, okay, so it will give the different readings of the magnetic flux. So it help to calculate the different values of B and H using this ballistic galvanometer. So next we are having a measurement of iron losses. So what is the iron losses basically? So coming toward this point, when we are using the magnetic material, okay, so when it is subjected to the alternating field, so means we are magnetizing this material or demagnetizing this material, or when a changing flux is linked with this one, okay, the losses is occur, losses in the power occur. That losses is called the hysteresis losses or the eddy current losses. Iron losses is the two type, hysteresis losses and the eddy current losses. Okay, so this losses is called as the iron losses, or these losses are also called as the core losses, because these losses are occurred in the iron core basically. Okay, so there are the different methods to measure these losses. First one, we are having a wattmeter method, and then we are having a bridge method, then potentiometer method, and oscillographic method. Okay, so these are the different methods which we are used to find out the iron losses. Iron losses is of two types. First one is the eddy current losses. Second one we are having, that is the hysteresis losses. Like in the BEEE or in the plus 2, you have learned about the hysteresis loop. Okay, so when we are magnetizing some material, or again we are demagnetizing that material, and vice versa, we are doing these things, and then we are uh, plot the one graph between and that is between the B and the H curve. Okay, so like that is called the hysteresis loss, and from the hysteresis loop we are find out the time. Actually, we are finding the time, how much time it is taking to magnetizing and then converting in back into the demagnetizing. Okay, so these losses are calculated by using these three methods. First one is the wattmeter method, bridge method, potentiometer method, oscillographic method. Student, when you came in the college, next hopefully we will do this topic physically in the classroom. Okay, so uh, now this is from the wait, student. Okay, student, rest we will I will explain you these topic in the next lecture. Next lecture is your in the physical mode, and this is enough for my today's lecture, I think. So any doubt to any student?
हेलो गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
हाँ जी बेटा बोलिए.
सर एक्चुअली में बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स की क्वेरी ये थी कि हमारे MST2 कम से कम ऑनलाइन हो या हमको थोड़ा सा टाइम मिले सर प्रिपेयर करने के लिए.
हाँ, नेक्स्ट वीक दे रहे हैं बेटा आपको. आपके पास ये भी वीक है. स्टार्ट योर स्टडीज. ओके, and start your preparations. Okay, and we know that you have attended the online classes, but all the teachers including me, we have dedicatedly teach you all the topic. We are sharing PPTs with you and explaining you all the concepts. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and we have done a lot of efforts on you, and now you also do some uh, hard work. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sure.
Because I know you from the last 1 year you are in the comfort zone and you are having the habits of giving the exam online. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you are giving the exams online, and after long duration gap you are giving the physical mode exams. So we understand you, and we are always with you, cooperate with you. And आप आए 27 से we will arrange the 1 week classes for you, special classes जिसमें हम पुराना ही रिवाइज करवाएंगे आपको सारा, ये चीज रहेगी। ठीक है बेटा?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
हाँ हाँ। और कोई क्वेरी? असाइनमेंट बेटा 27 को ही लेंगे आपके, किसी ने ऑनलाइन ही भेजनी है असाइनमेंट, फिजिकली आके सबमिट करवाना सारे। हेलो, ठीक है
Okay,
बेटा?
sir. Okay, sir.
हाँ, और कोई क्वेरी है आपकी साइड से तो पूछो बेटा। Any other queries from your side? Ask me. So, like you are having a 5 theory subjects and labs. Next week you all are coming in the college, and we will do the experiments on the kids. We will do the physical. आप खुद करेंगे experiments. Okay. So